Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Tocvan Ventures is a publicly traded early-stage natural resources company that works in the junior mining sector. And with me is CEO Brodie Sutherland to talk about the company. And I guess let's just start with junior mining. What does that mean for people who aren't familiar with?
Yeah, a junior mining company is a company that's pre-production. They're exploring, they're trying to move something towards development, define a resource, and that's really where we're at now. But we're very close to moving towards that production stage.
Okay, well, bring me up to date on where you are in terms of your projects.
Yeah, so we've got our Pilar project. It's quite advanced. It's seen over 23,000 meters of drilling on it. We've defined a gold oxide zone, and when we say oxide, that just means it's very amenable to a heap leach process, which is very low cost, where we operate in Sonora, Mexico, which is extremely mine-friendly, easy to permit there. And we're surrounded by mines very similar to this. So we've got that project that we're moving towards production. And then we've got our earlier stage project, P.Geo, which shows a lot of promise. It's 20 times the size of Pilar. And we've just drilled there for the first time, and we hit gold mineralization at depth, close to surface. So big potential.
So it looks very promising. So
yeah.
What does that mean in terms of the business, and what does that mean for the industry?
Yeah, I mean, really our goal is to unlock that value of finding new resources in the ground so that our shareholders benefit from that new discovery, that potential there, but also from that potential moving it towards production. Mm-hmm. And that's the significance of what we just discovered at P.Geo, is that it's something that really was unknown before, and now we've hit, and we can build off that. We've got a big area to explore there, mm-hmm. and we'll continue to do that.
And what do you do with the gold that you mine?
Really, you bring it back to Hermosillo is a capital city of Sonora, and you find a buyer for it, and
okay.
that's essentially what
and
you do with
and
it.
then they decide whether to make it into jewelry or for industrial purposes?
Yeah,
or?
It might be a bank that stores it,
okay.
Funds. Yeah, there's lots of uses for it, obviously, but yeah, it's a hot commodity right now.
Yeah, it is. Well, gold has been a very good performer in terms of the markets this year.
Yeah, and obviously we're very bullish on gold. We see a strong future for it here, not only in the short term, but the long term, obviously. But what's significant is that the price of gold where it's at now, and even lower, down to $1,600 an ounce, it's quite economic to produce gold in this environment in Mexico. And that's why we like it.
Yeah, so what are the next steps for the company?
Yeah, next steps, we're doing a bulk sample at our Pilar project to show that you can extract the gold from it. And that will give us information that'll lead us towards permitting for a mine development on our own site, which is relatively easy to do in this part of Mexico. It'll take roughly a year to get that permit once we submit the application. At the same time, we'll be drilling more to find more mineralization, gold and silver. We've got an area there that we want to expand on. And because we've just discovered a new area in our other project, P.Geo, we'll continue to drill there. So lots of potential, a lot of catalysts, lots of news, and hopefully we can ride this wave with gold. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Brodie.
Thank you, Jane.
Do your employees use Zoom? Do your employees use Microsoft Teams? Professionals need enhanced security. AdZerify's Defender for the only secure, zero-trust video conferencing protection. Your employees, clients, and patients deserve it.
Here at Grove Coin, we're opening doors, building strong and blazing our own trail. We're combining a complete digital finance ecosystem with cutting-edge sustainable technology to create a new kind of hybrid business. We believe in a healthier future, and that virtual currencies built with trust, integrity, and purpose can help us all reach that future together. Grove Coin, Be a part of the innovators, be a part of the visionaries, be a part of the future.
PetVivo is a NASDAQ-listed company that makes a tool for the management of osteoarthritis in dogs and horses. And with me is the CEO, John Ghiai, to bring us up to date on what the company is doing. I know you've always got so many things going on. So let's just start with what the big things are that are happening.
Sure. So Spring with OsteoCushion technology is being really well recognized within the equine space. We have had multiple equine trade shows, conferences, because it all starts January, second week of January. You have continuous shows, I mean, just ongoing, every weekend, every week. And our team's on the road. At the VMX, which is in Orlando, it's the biggest show on the East Coast. We had over 2,700 vet techs and veterinary doctors visit our booth because 3 of the speakers in the seminars brought up Spring with OsteoCushion technology and the positive experience they had, which was really good. So to give you an example, I think the year before, we had 200 people that we scanned into the computer. So obviously our sales reps are calling, we got to get more scanners. We only had 1 scanner for all the sales reps to use, but there wasn't any available. But it's a good thing. The brand's getting recognized. People are using veterinary doctors, people that have the pets are putting up TikTok videos on their own, and that's drawing a lot of attention. And one of the principal focus from when we got listed on NASDAQ is that we would say we wanted to have a lot of podium presentations, and those will all be coming up because now we have 7 studies that are near completion or have been at completion this year on different joints within the animal. Like the next one is on the torn cruciate for a dog at the VOS, which is the Veterinary Orthopedic Surgical Conference, second week of March. So our clinician will present the data as well as have abstracts. That's a major catalyst for us because it allows our partnership with MWI for their reps, for their small animal sales reps, now to talk to the small animal doctors and point to specific data, how it's better than what's out there, or show the science behind it. And a lot of videos have been going out there. You know, we had one recently where a human doctor did the research for his dog, Molly, and after he did the research, he knew it was totally safe for humans as well as animals. So he went to his vet and convinced his vet to use the product. And then the vet said, this was way easier than I thought, you know, which is really good. And then she said also there was really good results. And the vet said, I have a lot of patients that this would really fit because, you know, you get dogs that can't handle the NSAIDs or it's very detrimental. She said a lot of the older dogs, this would help tremendously. So, yeah.
And that's a key feature of the Spring product is that it's just easier on the animal.
Yeah, yeah. So what we're doing is really improving the quality of life, but you're also eliminating or reducing or eliminating the use of NSAIDs, which just like in humans, prolonged use, you're going to have gastrointestinal tract bleeding, you're going to have liver kidney failure, and a dog doesn't know that when you're masking the pain, it's going to run and jump in situations it should not. It actually will speed up the damaging of the cartilage.
Interesting. Okay, so you mentioned the ETHOS study, right? That's the one that's up and coming in March.
Yep.
What other ones, like which ones are significant that you'll be watching?
Well, all 7 are pretty significant because they're catalysts for specific joints within the animal and also different animals. Like we have a study internationally going related to tendons and ligaments for horses. that hopefully that'll be out early April. We have the feline cat study probably around August, September that should be completed. Now, completion date's a little different than publishing date because it can take anywhere from 90 days to 6 months before it gets published, because a lot of it gets reviewed, and your timing to submit to the journals to get published, they want like a 90-day window minimum. So you get trapped in, depending on when the study gets completed and you submit it for them to review, because you don't automatically get published. They have to review and say, well, this is pretty significant. We want to publish this. So that's why the VOS one coming up mid-March is pretty big, because these are all board certified surgeons for animals, and it's very prestigious to be in their journal, as well as getting presentation there to all these board certified surgeons.
Okay. Well, it sounds like an exciting year for you. I can't wait to see you back in New York. We can do an in-person update.
I know. Hopefully I can get there in March.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Okay.
Thanks so much, John.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Talk soon. Bye.
Do your employees use Zoom? Do your employees use Microsoft Teams? Professionals need enhanced security. AdZerify's Defender for the only secure, zero-trust video conferencing protection. Your employees, clients, and patients deserve it.
Here at Grove Coin, we're opening doors, building strong and blazing our own trail. We're combining a complete digital finance ecosystem with cutting-edge sustainable technology to create a new kind of hybrid business. We believe in a healthier future, and that virtual currencies built with trust, integrity, and purpose can help us all reach that future together. Grove Coin. Be a part of the innovators, be a part of the visionaries, be a part of the future.
As a father, I'm always thinking about the future of my kids. What kind of world are they going to live in? A healthy world or a world of pollution? A world that is succeeding or a world that is going down? The future generation is so important. What's going to happen in the future? That is a major question, and one I believe we're responsible for. Could the solution for our children and future generations to grow and succeed in life, could it be just right under our feet? Could there be one thing that can balance our climate, that can replenish our water, that can feed the world? Could we, for generations and generations, have been doing things wrong, getting rid of the soil, what produces the food and makes planet Earth healthy for us? Could we have been doing it wrong? It is not too late. You can still play a vital role in restoring soil. Through Humasoil's patent process, there is no greenhouse gases released, and it will produce a product that uses less water, no fertilizer needed, and will produce 100% organic fruits, vegetables, and flowers. Humasoil can work in any weather and any location. It doesn't matter if it's high in the mountains, in the middle of the desert, or in your home garden. So what decisions are we making today for the future? What decision are we making today for our children and the generations that are to come? If we continue the way that we are now, studies have shown that in about 60 years, all soil will be gone. All we will be left with is with dirt. The very thing that we need that will produce and make us healthy humans is the very thing that we're destroying. So what are we doing and what can we do? Look, the answer is simple. It's not as hard as you think. You can play a vital role in this and help restore the soil that is being lost. Healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy humans, healthy life.
Humi soil. It's good for the human soul.
Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. If we didn't have partnerships and trust, nothing would move forward. We like to get to know the core of the client. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
East Palestine, Ohio has seen a train derailment. It's led to hazardous waste for miles around that area. And there is a possible solution that could help with these kinds of things. So with me is the CEO of OriginClear, Riggs Eckelberry, to talk about this situation. I mean, it's just so in the news now. How would what your company do prevent or perhaps change the situation that we're seeing in Ohio?
Well, Jane, it's a pleasure being on board again. And I wanted to say that East Palestine is an illustration of how fragile our lives are with respect to water. Water, we can't go 3-4 days without water. So anytime it could happen, it happened to East Palestine, but frankly, it could happen anywhere. So the problem really is that our infrastructure in America is $1 trillion behind in accumulated deficit since 1961. We just haven't kept up. As a result, it gets more and more overburdened, and it's not the city's fault, they're just underfunded. The solution, we believe, is to radically decentralize water treatment so the businesses that generate all that dirty water treat their own dirty water, and it's a good thing for them too.
Yeah. So basically what OriginClear offers is a way for an affordable way for small businesses, farms, things like that to treat and recycle their own water, so that relieves some burden off the municipalities, right?
Exactly.
And helps with some of these, you know, situations. And you mentioned the debt. I mean, we're seeing so much government debt right now that, I mean, a lot of cities can't pay for what it takes to upgrade these systems.
Well, let's even imagine that someone would write $1 trillion check for water, which they're not going to. How do you do it? Who wants a sewage plant next to their home?
Okay.
It's the giant sewage plant era is gone. Now it's going to be small is beautiful. And the key is to downsize the big sewage systems. You see them on the Hudson River, right? Giant sewage systems.
Yeah.
Well, you got to downsize them. And we have breakthrough patented technology for doing that. We call it modular water systems as part of the OriginClear suite. And we literally call them water systems in a box. So you're a brewer, you got a lot of water needs. You make beer, you don't worry about wastewater. So one of those things goes in the corner, takes care of it. And our new initiative, Water on Demand, enables them to do it without paying money up front. They just pay by the gallon like they used to with the city. We take over from the city.
Yeah. So say I'm a small business and I want to use your services. How do I even start? Where does the water come from? How does the whole thing begin?
Okay, there's 3 phases to water. The first is the incoming water. Generally, it comes from the city. You're not going to dig a well usually, right? Secondly is the treatment of the water you just made dirty. And third is recycling it for irrigation, to wash down your equipment, whatever it is, right? Maybe even make beer with, I don't know.
Okay.
So all that's good. Well, this is all good because we have these legendary droughts and we're not reusing the water. You know, Israel recycles almost 90% of its water.
Okay.
America, 1%. Now, why? Because just like our energy grid, we have an old infrastructure. So it only thinks one thing: treat and throw away, treat and throw away. A disposable economy. We need to start thinking very sustainably. Now, for investors, it's a huge opportunity. Why? Because anytime a monopoly breaks up, look at what happened to AT&T. Generated, MCI, the Baby Bells, even the internet today, all came from that one breakup. So you have a vast explosion of opportunity, and we believe that's going on right now in water today. OriginClear is leading the pack, and we have our modular water systems, which are the downsized systems, and water on demand, which is this great way of financing it for people so they pay by the gallon instead of the $1 million up front.
Got it. So, and I'm hearing recycling is a big part of what you're offering.
100%.
So it's the same water. It's just being recycled and treated, and we're using it over and over again at these businesses, right?
And this is why the businesses like it, because they don't have to pay again for that water, right? They get more than one turn out of it, and they get a nice predictable service contract, fully managed. They don't have to worry a bit about it. And I mean, everything's going to services, right? Why not water? I mean, we're thinking like, oh, now you got to get a water expert and you got to spend a bunch of money. No, just sign a contract and we'll take care of it for you. So, in fact, water on demand is so powerful that we are planning to let everyday investors, unaccredited investors, because I think it's a scandal that only the 1% can. I hate that.
I know, I've always hated that too.
Oh my God.
I understand the
Up to a
philosophy
point,
behind
why?
it, but
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Well,
So-
widows and orphans is a good reason, but the innovation of these unaccredited, it's called Regulation A, is fantastic. There's so much more power in having an army of investors instead of a few deep pockets, because it creates, just like a political campaign does better with a lot of small donations, right? It's a similar thing. So water on demand is going to be opening up for shares in this amazing new water as a service. I expect pretty soon, and certainly I hope by the time we talk again.
Yeah, well, and decentralization is a big kind of theme with your company. Decentralization of water.
Literally extreme decentralization, because the only way we can scale up is by doing it locally, not centrally. Look at India, for example. They have no infrastructure whatsoever. What are they going to do? They're not going to spend trillions. Not going to happen. Okay, but how about on-site water treatment for homes, housing developments, for businesses, agriculture? And now it's manageable. You can scale up.
Yeah, so this could be international as well. So now, we've talked last time about how notoriously difficult it is to invest in water and water companies. How can somebody find out more about OriginClear?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
We are a penny stock. We've been a penny stock for a long time. OCLN is the ticker, OCLN. And what I have been doing is, with my team, we've been turning this into the water industry's first incubator. The water industry doesn't do incubators. I came from high tech. They sort of, you build a company and you sell it to the big guy. That's, well, the industry needs incubators for all that technology. That's OriginClear. And so the companies we're launching, including this water on demand, are, super interesting. So yes, you can invest in OriginClear, the parent, and get a piece of that launch pad. And now you'll be able to invest in water on demand with that new unaccredited thing, which will come along soon. The key is to go to OriginClear.com, green button, invest now, and we'd love to have
They can take a look read everything.
It's all there.
Okay, thanks so much, Riggs. I look forward to our next interview, and you can update us on this.
I can't wait.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. If we didn't have partnerships and trust, nothing would move forward. We like to get to know the core of the client. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Welcome everybody to Sekur Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, along with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Sekur. All right, Alain, our weekly hack topic this week is California Medical Group data breach. It impacted 3.3 million patients recently. So this is a big deal because a lot of data was compromised of these people's full name, their social security, their date of birth, their home address, their phone number, let alone their lab test results and prescription data, just too much information out there. So what do you think went wrong? And let's talk about how we can prevent that.
Sure. So that's unfortunate. It's happening a lot lately in the medical field, medical record, because medical records are valuable. There's two ways the hackers got the info. One of them from the users themselves. So basically they're spying on your email. We know that 91% of all hacks start with email, phishing, spying, monitoring, and so forth. And sometimes the hackers go to the organization, the institution, and monitor, let's say, administrative and these IT or whoever is running their software, their database, and they're monitoring them for a few months until they find a weak link in order to get into the database. You know, they get information all sorts of ways. So that's how the breach happens. And again, 91% of all information that's fed to hacker comes from our emails.
So when it comes to emailing, we've talked about this before, but it's so important to reiterate the fact that it's okay to have an open source email for the simple little subscription services we want and simple little email exchanges. But when it comes to our personal data, especially medical records, that's why we need a solution that like Sekur provides. So tell us a little bit about the Sekur Mail and the Sekur Send.
Sure. So Sekur has a way to send an email notification to a non-secure user. So I would send you, let's say you're my doctor, I'd send you some info, or you're my patient. You're able to click on a link in the email in order to view the mail and then reply back using Sekur Reply without you having to buy Sekur or register as well. So it's basically, the concept is the whole exchange of information happens only in our servers in Switzerland, which are obviously non-data mined, privately hosted, no third-party hyperscaler or big tech, and that eliminates the risk of hackers snooping around the internet to read those emails. So, you know, I encourage everybody to go to sekur.com. You can find out more about it. But that's a great way to send valuable information round trip, and that's what I would recommend a doctor use or these medical institutions when they send lab reports back and forth.
And so for our viewers interested in this, do you have a promo code for them today?
We do. The promo code is privacy, and it gets you 15% off for the next 5 years. If you keep your account uninterrupted, you'll get that. You can go to sekur.com, put promo code privacy when it prompts you, and then any solution that we have out there, you get 15% off for the next 5 years.
Thank you so much for joining us on our weekly hack segment.
Thanks, Anna. See you all next week for the next tip.